Crystal Palace won, Man United won. It ended in a draw. In a game where Man United should have won. And to be honest, it's not a good feeling. It's not a good feeling. Some people were saying United were in a title race. I don't know about that. I don't know about that. I did say, listen, guys, let's not be hasty. There's a lot of work for this team to do. There's a lot for us to talk about with this game. There's a lot to get into. We're going to talk about, first and foremost, Weghorst, or however you want to pronounce his name. He had his debut today, so we're going to get into it. We're going to talk about Casemiro and the fact that he's now been booked, so he will miss the Arsenal game. We're going to chop it up. Was the substitutions correct? I don't know about the substitutions, guys. We're going to have to talk about that. I think that derailed United. So we're going to talk about the game as usual, guys. You know how we do. We're going to analyze it. Talk about the thing that I've been saying is that we don't have the cohesion and the understanding in attack yet. It isn't there. Antony doesn't know what Bruno's going to do. Bruno doesn't know what Rashford's going to do. It's still very off the cuff. There's no patterns of play in the final third. We do very well up until the final third a lot, but the reason why we don't score a lot of goals. But speaking of Lissandro, actually, the one thing that we've missed when Lissandro hasn't played is him stepping out from the back. Today, he didn't do it a lot, but there was a few times where he just went, my ball, give me the ball, stepping out from the back. Antony. The problem with Antony is that he's not worth 100 million. He never will be worth, and never has been worth. Antony is a £50 million player. Sancho's not worth 75 million. Sancho's a £40 million player. That's really their price tags, but we had to pay over the odds for these players. And they're going to be judged according to their price tags, unfortunately. And why was that not a penalty? That is a genuine question. I want you guys to comment below, because I think in another game that would have been given. Now I fear we could actually lose. I don't think people understand how good this guy has been. He is our best player. End of story. There's no discussion on this channel about this now. This season, this man is head and shoulders above everybody. One of the only players on that football pitch that you can say that will give you a minimum 7 out of 10 performance every single game. And if Arsenal beat United on Sunday, for me, Arsenal have won the league. What a free kick. What a free kick. I can't even be angry at anybody. You can't get mad because the goal was a great goal. You have to be like, shit, you fuck. If you're not... Before we get into it, as usual, guys, smash the like, turn on notifications, and if you haven't yet subscribed, do the damn thing. Subscribe below. Have a little pre-match debrief, a pre-match conversation with me, Chosen Wisdom. And we're going to break down the game and talk about it, you know? That's it. That's what we do in this channel. Nothing more, nothing less. But yeah, let's chop it up, man, because I'm happy that Weghorst, and I hope you guys don't butcher me with my pronunciation, Weghorst started. I'm happy that he started. I'm happy that we've got him. He offers something different, as we all know, to the strikers that we have currently in terms of Rashford and Martial. He's got presence about him. He's strong. He's physical. He's tall. He can header the ball. So he offers something different. And today we saw glimpses of that, but we're going to get into the performance later. For now, let's just talk about the team. Talk about the lineup. I'm happy with the lineup. I don't think there was anything wrong with the lineup. Was I surprised that Ten Hag went a bit strong? No, because you have to play the game that's in front of you. And it would be, funny enough, I'll say it would be very stupid of Man United to look past this Crystal Palace game. So the fact that Casemiro, Eriksen and Bruno, perhaps our first choice midfield, started, and Antony and Rashford, perhaps our first choice wingers, with Weghorst, a big statement from Ten Hag. The back four, Aaron Wan-Bissaka, he's been playing well. There's rumours, well, not just rumours, there are big talks that he will be sold. If United keep Aaron, I'm fine with it because let's see what happens if the kid's coached, if the kid is coachable. You know, if United say, do you know what, there's not a right back out there that's better at the moment, we're going to keep Aaron for another year. Cool, fine. He's been playing well, and if you play well, you retain your spot. So Aaron started. Varane, Martinez back as our first choice. Defence with Luke Shaw left back. That's our strongest team. However, that's the team. Like I said, I'm fine with the team, but we started on a front foot in the first 5 minutes with some intensity. And I did say, and I have been saying in previous videos, that we don't start matches with intensity. We don't start on the front foot. We're just very lackadaisical and slow on the ball when we start games, and I don't know why, because when I watch Arsenal and other teams start games, there's an intensity about them. Today we had that for the first few games, for the first few minutes. We had that intensity. We started on the front foot, but the thing that I've been saying is that we don't have the cohesion and the understanding in attack yet. It isn't there. Antony doesn't know what Bruno's going to do. Bruno doesn't know what Rashford's going to do. It's still very off the cuff. There's no patterns of play in the final third. We do very well up until the final third a lot, but the reason why we don't score a lot of goals is because we just don't make the right decisions a lot of times in the final third. And today was no different. The final pass today was often sloppy from Bruno, often sloppy from Eriksen as well. And after 6-7 minutes, Crystal Palace got into the game, and Crystal Palace settled. They settled very quickly into the game, probably more than we did because we were still a bit frantic. But at the same time, I noticed that there was space in behind. The space in behind, Rashford was making certain runs, and while we found him certain times, other times we weren't quick enough, or the pass that we were making to Rashford wasn't executed correctly with enough precision. So there were opportunities in the first sort of 11, 15 minutes for us to utilise the space in behind, because Crystal Palace were pushing up, but we just didn't do it. Casemiro, around the 22nd minute, I remember Casemiro clipping the ball over the top to Antony. I think Antony, or maybe put Antony through, and Antony tried to chip the keeper, I believe, and he lobbed it wide. So we were getting warm in terms of our chances, and you could feel that if we just kept pushing and probing, we would score. But Palace had 11 men behind the ball all the time. That's one thing about Palace. We just struggled to break them down. We weren't actually moving the ball that quick. You know, some players were just taking 1 or 2 touches, while some other players were just, you know, just ponderous on the ball. So we just needed more cohesion in terms of our speed of play. You can't be just playing it quick there, and then when he gets here, you just slow it down. We just needed that one touch, quick football, just more often. You know, we went through these periods where we just speed it up, and then went through periods where we would slow it down, and we just needed to, for me, needed to maintain a certain level of intensity throughout. But like I said, it was difficult for us because Palace always had 11 men behind the ball, and they're well structured. De Gea had a save from Edouard, which was a really good save, and that showed, or just reminded United that, listen, Crystal Palace are still in the game. They're in the game. It's still 0-0, and United weren't doing enough. But there you go. The goal came. The goal came around the 43rd minute, and the goal came really when, for me, the first time that we just had that cohesion in the final third. Everyone made the right decision. You know, no one just, Rashford didn't try to chop a man rather than passing it, or pass rather than, you know, everyone just did the right thing. Rashford had the ball, Eriksen made a run, and I was thinking to myself, Rashford, please just give the ball to Eriksen. He's there, he's open, he's free. Made the right decision, gave it to Eriksen. Eriksen went wide. Eriksen, as a number 10 in the final third, he usually makes the right decision. He cuts it back to Bruno. Bruno is composed enough to take his time and smash it into the net. The thing I liked about that goal is that I prefer Eriksen in the 10 because Eriksen doesn't always go for the spectacular pass, but he's very safe with the ball, and he usually makes the right decision. You know, I think Eriksen is smarter than Bruno in the number 10 position. And I personally, I think if Bruno was in Eriksen's position, he might not even cut it back. He might have just shot if the position was reversed. I think they were in the right position because Bruno is probably a better... would you say Bruno's a better shot definitely got a stronger shot or harder shot than Eriksen. So I'd rather Bruno be the one to shoot and Eriksen be the one to provide the pass. Personally, that's how I see the players. But we scored. United scored. We went in we ended the first half in the lead, and we needed to capitalize. United needed to capitalize on it. But once again, the start of the second half, we started well within the first, I think, minute. We started intensely, but it didn't take long for Crystal Palace to just cement themselves and settle the game down. So essentially, I think in the second half, Palace actually settled better. They started well. And for me, when Heze came on for, I think, Matata. Was it Matata? When Heze came on for Matata, I thought to myself, yeah, we need to score second goal quickly, because I like that kid Heze. I like Heze because he's a baller. He's a baller. He's good. He's good. He's a good baller. He's one of Crystal Palace's best players, I think, Heze. And I was right. As soon as he came on the pitch, he was causing Luke Shaw problems. He was causing Eriksen problems. He was causing Lissandro. Lissandro had to run over to the left-hand side and double up. He was causing problems, Heze. He's close control. He's dribbling. He's just nice. He's just a nice footballer, and he plays football the way I like. He just plays with flair, flamboyant, you know the word I'm looking for. He plays with flair, flamboyance. Fucking flipping neck. Can't get the word out. But yeah, and he was just causing problems. But speaking of Lissandro, actually, the one thing that we've missed when Lissandro hasn't played is him stepping out from the back. Today, he didn't do it a lot, but there was a few times where he just went, my ball, give me the ball, stepping out from the back, winning the ball, nipping the ball away from the attacker, and not only just doing that, dribbling, carrying the ball into the final third. When he's doing that, he's a joy to watch, Lissandro. He really is. And he did that a few times today. And yeah, we have missed that in general. But this is probably where I want to ask you guys a question about these subs, because I get the subs, you know. Weghorst is his first start, so he needs to come off. And Antony, today, once again, I just wanted more from Antony. The problem with Antony is that he's not worth 100 million. He never will be worth, and never has been worth. Antony is a 50 million pound player. Sancho's not worth 75 million. Sancho was a 40 million pound player. That's really their price tags, but we had to pay over the odds for these players. And they're going to be judged according to their price tags, unfortunately. And Antony has a lot of work to do in terms of his understanding of the game. He's a good technical footballer. You can see technically he's got the ability, but he just needs to work on other aspects of his game. His right foot seems non-existent, and as a professional footballer, he just needs, at least have a right foot that he can swing. But Antony Weghorst came off for Garnacho and McTominay, and this is the problem. When Weghorst was playing, and let's talk about his performance. And cohesion will come. He just didn't understand how we play. But when he dropped deep, he linked the play. When he dropped deep, he linked the play. He didn't drop deep, drop a shoulder and turn and dribble towards his man and attack his player like a Martial might do and discombobulate the defence. But at least he dropped deep, controlled the ball and laid it off and then ran back. He did that, and that did something. That stretched the team. That created space. But when Rashford went up front, he didn't do that at all. He didn't come deep at all. He didn't do that once. He didn't alleviate the pressure once. We needed somebody to just hold the ball up and just alleviate some pressure. And not only that, he didn't do what he's even good at. We couldn't find him. We couldn't get the space in behind. So when we made, it's not just a change. Well, I guess the changes, yes, because the changes also, or the substitutions also involved the change of position. And I don't think it worked. It should have, but I don't think it did. And so we just didn't get a hold of the game, and the game just passed us by, and Crystal Palace gained confidence. However, that being said, let's talk about the penalty. Let's talk about the penalty because, or the penalty that never was. I think, Scott McTominay, I think it was a penalty. I need to look at it again. I haven't looked at it for the second or third time. But why was that not a penalty? That is a genuine question. I want you guys to comment below, because I think in another game that would have been given. And we would have scored, and it would have been 2-0. Game over. But it wasn't given, so these are the fine margins. After that, De Gea made some good saves. And then, of course, we come to the Casemiro. I mean, Casemiro, I guess he had to do it. He had to make that tackle. I understand. But it's just unfortunate. It is unfortunate that United now don't have Casemiro for the Arsenal game. With Casemiro, personally, I was confident that we would at least draw the game. I was confident that we at least won't lose. Now I fear we could actually lose. I don't think people understand how good this guy has been. He is our best player. End of story. There's no discussion on this channel about this now. This season, this man is head and shoulders above everybody. He's the only player on that football. No, he's not. He's not the only player. I stand corrected. But one of the only players on that football pitch that you can say that will give you a minimum 7 out of 10 performance every single game without fail. There's no one you can bank on. You're not going to go to the bookies and bank on any. Varane, maybe. Lisandro Martinez, maybe. Luke Shaw these days. Yeah, but Luke Shaw will go through a patch of a month of good games and a month of bad, you know. Rashford, no. Bruno, definitely not. There's no one else you can apart from him. You know, this guy is consistent. And there's nothing better than knowing that I'm going to play this guy and I know exactly what this guy's going to give me. As a manager, you're just like, yeah, he's this first name on team sheet, Casemiro. And we ain't got that against Arsenal. So it's a big blow. I get why Casemiro had to do it. But it is a massive blow for United. And yeah, now I think United could lose to Arsenal. And if Arsenal beat United on Sunday, for me, Arsenal have won the league. I'm just being real. But took one for the team, big Cass. And the bitter taste now. And this is why it's a bitter taste, because the guy took one for the team and it wasn't enough. Crystal Palace scored. So I would feel it would be much better if he did that and United went on to win. But was it Heze? It might have been Heze again that we fouled on the right hand side, on their right hand side, our left hand side. And as you know, as we all saw, what a free kick. What a free kick. I can't even be angry at anybody. You can't get mad because the goal was a great goal. You have to be like, shit, you fucking idiots. What can you do? You know, De Gea couldn't save that, and yeah, we almost scored. I mean, Casemiro, Cass should have scored with at the last minute, but it is what it is. 1-1 final result. It shouldn't have been 1-1. It's the attack. The midfield are doing their thing. Eriksen, Casemiro, they're probing. Bruno, but the attack just needs to improve. We need to improve our attack. Of course, we didn't have Martial and it's Weghorst first game, so there wasn't that cohesion. But United should have won the game. United should have won the game. De Gea made some good saves before, the free kick went in anyway. The team, the back four played well. The midfield were good / decent. Bruno was okay. Antony, Rashford, you know, and this is it. The wingers just didn't play that well today. They didn't give Weghorst anything. We need to work on that cohesion. We're not going to win the league. We're not in the title race. Let's calm down. You know, anything can happen, of course. But based on what I've seen, let's just relax. There's a lot of work to do. That's my opinion. What do you guys think? My man in the match. My man in the match. I'm going to give it to Aaron Wan-Bissaka. He was doing stepovers, not making people. He was having fun out there today a lot of times. I saw him, like, I wish he had more confidence going forward, because there were some times where I was like, Aaron, don't just always pass it wide. You can pass it in field, or Aaron, take a shot. I wish he had more tech, but at the same time, he does have enough tech to, you know, do stepovers and not make people. He was having fun out there playing against his old club. So yeah, I'm gonna give it to Aaron Wan-Bissaka, my man in the match. Who was your man in the match? What do you guys think of the match? Why did United not win the game? What was your sort of main factors or variables? Just let me know. Give me some pointers. What do you guys think? Let me learn from you as well. You know, educate me and give me some football knowledge. Of course, we can all learn from each other. That's the whole point of this channel, to learn from each other. So comment below. Onwards and upwards. Onwards to Arsenal on Sunday. Let the best team win. It's going to be very interesting. But today, not a good moment. It feels like a loss. It does feel like a loss, unfortunately. But hey, what can you do? I'm not on the pitch. I'm at home. Anyway, peace out. See you guys next time. Like, share, subscribe, do all that jazz. Turn on notifications. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Peace. If you're not